Hey, this is one of my favorite solos ever, and I haven't done a video in a while, so I thought I would run through this one really quick for you. I haven't made tabs for it, but if people would like, I can do that, so drop a comment or something and let me know. It's Jakub Zytecki's guest solo in Plini's song Paper Moon, and here's a playthrough of it real fast. So we're starting here, middle finger on the 13th of the D, index finger 12th of the G, and ring finger 13th of the B. And I'm sweeping through these three notes. I'm not ringing them out like a chord, like a sweep pick. And then picking again and sliding down to the 8th fret of the B. Little vibrato. Then we come up here, index finger on the G of the 12th, sliding to 13, and then picking this high 15 with my ring finger, sliding down to the 10th of the E. And then my pinky's going to sneak under to 11, but it's just a passing note because I want to go. So that's a little pinky slide from 11 to 10, and then pull off to 8. Then I'm coming up again, 8th fret of the high E, from 8 to 6, sliding. And my ring finger is doing another slide. That's 6 in the high E, and then from 7-ish with my ring, sliding to this 5. And pulling off to 3. So all together. From here I'm sliding with my ring finger to the 8th fret of the B, half bend up, half bend release. And my index finger is here on the 7th of the G, 7 down to 3 again, so just really quick. Then my ring's coming down under to the A, 5th fret, 5th, slide to 6. Then my middle finger is going to slide, just slide up to 7. Then another half bend here. And we kind of hold this half bend, and then we hold it just by itself, and then we start to vibrate it a bit, and then release. So it sounds like. And we end with a quick, and we cut it off, slide down to 5. So altogether we have. Then we're going to come up to this shape. And that's ring finger slide up to 10. There's a lot of slides in and out of places. That just seems to be his style of play. I think it sounds cool. You can kind of do these like really cool transition and make the notes come alive a little bit. So I think that's what he's trying to go for. Sliding up to 8 to 10 here on the D. And I'm playing 10, 8 with my index finger on the G. My pinky's grabbing 11 on the B, and then sliding down to 8. And then another release onto 6. And then we come over to this run. Starting index finger on the 12th, hammer on 13. And I'm going to descend in like a pentatonic, major pentatonic type shape. So this is 15, 13 on the D. 15, 13 again on the A. And then with my pinky, I'm playing 17, 15, 13. So after I land on this low 15 here, I'm doing a slide from 13 to 12 with a D. And then coming up, 15, 12 on the G, 15, 13 on the B. So all together we go. Then I'm reaching up to the 16. And I'm sort of shifting my hand up here. So I have 15, 13, 16. My index comes over to 15. And then I'm forming the octave up here to 18. And fretting this 18 to the B and bending a full step. There's a lot of like jumping around between these two fingers, at least the way that I played. And I found that the best way to accomplish this, like because I kind of trip over myself with the right hand, is I'll bring the camera in a little bit. Is I'm doing this run, and then as I start to ascend, slide here, and then I begin this next sequence with an upstroke. And I found that when I start the upstroke from the 15, 12 on the G, it becomes very ergonomical in the right hand, so it allows me to like pass through that next section a lot easier than starting with a downstroke for some reason. Still very tricky to kind of like dance your way through there, but take it slow, use a metronome, and pay attention to the pick strokes in the right hand. That's what I did. So we end on this, which is we're already in full bend, and we bend another half step, so, and then release, then full again, so. Then we have this alternate picking run. And that's starting on 17 of the D, 17, 18, 20, and then 17, 18, 20 the G twice. Then we come to 16, 18, 20, and then at the end of the last 20 we play it again and bend it a half step. So, and release and come down to 18. This part gets a little tricky. There's a tapping involved on the 24th fret, so I'm going to tap the 24th, and using my left hand, my fretting hand index, bend it from here. So I'm kind of using both of these fingers to bend the string. So we want to bend to that note. Half step up. As I contact with my right hand, I'm also going to fret again in the 20th fret. It's not going to produce any noise. But I'm doing that so I can help move the string, but also I need to release. So this whole sequence takes place in like half bends. Because if I don't bend them, I get, which is, you know, half step too low, it's awkward. So we have, and then as I'm in half bend, I'm going to pick this 18 of the high E. And then again, tap, which is weird, and fret. Tap, fret. Tap, bend, and release. So you get the same sort of tap, bend, release, tap, bend, release, and we hold the bend. And then after we release, and we're still holding the 20th fret, I'm going to fret unbend and fret the 19th and half bend again. So all together, vibrato, then slide, which is kind of hard to nail for me, to 23. I'm fretting the octave below, which is 20th of the G, and doing a double slide with my index down to 15, and then down to 13. Then I'm fretting the 16 here with my pinky, and I'm coming down to 13, 15. And again, pinky slide up to 18. Kind of slide into 18, and then slide up to 20. And finish on a 18 full bend on the B. Then we have this last run, which is, again, kind of like a finger twister. We play this first bend, which is, that's the one we end on, and then we play it again, because we're going to step up to the 15th of the E. And we play this. Hammer on the 16, pinky on the 20th, and then 14, 15, same string. I used to play it like, where I would slide from 14 back to 15, but now I'm fretting 14, 15 specific. I'm kind of taking a step down, because that's going to free up these two fingers to play the next two notes. So you have, my ring and pinky are doing 16, 18 on the B. So, and I pull off to 13. That's 18, 16, 13, 14, 13. And that's 15, 13, 15, 13 of the G and the D, and then bounce back up. So, and then holding this note, I slide down to 12. And then slide out, and that's the end of the solo. So the last one is. So again, I'll go through it very slowly here, from the beginning. Ooh. So that's pretty much it. This one was really difficult because I wasn't paying a lot of attention to my right hand, to like which pick strokes I was doing. So I was kind of just running through it. And when I started to break it down and dissect it a little more, it was paying a lot of attention to which strokes are happening at what times. You know, upstrokes, downstrokes, or none, sliding or hammering. The actual mechanics of what's the right and left hand are doing was super helpful to getting it a lot cleaner, especially in this last passage. That it's really easy to get caught up and just sort of run into the strings, and it becomes very messy because you're just trying to get the speed of it. But if you take it step by step and say, okay, I'm going, you know, down, up, hammer, down, down, and really parse it out like that, it becomes miles easier. The solo also has like a lot of flair to it, which is typical of his playing style. So embrace that. You know, it's very easy to make it sound mechanical, but that's not the type of player he is. It's very loose. The slide in, slide out. I made a lot of errors just trying to explain it because you know, I'm trying to mimic the slides but slowly, but that doesn't really work because, you know, he does them as sort of an embellishment or like a flair, you know, not in a flashy way, but it's tasteful. So keep that in mind as you're sliding in, sliding out. The vibratos are very specific. Listen to the recording of the solo a lot. It's very helpful for giving you those ideas of how to spice it up a little bit, make it a little more tasteful. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, if you would like a tab, I can create one. So if people want one, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'm going to try and do more of these, so leave ideas, please. Solo ideas, riff ideas, anything like that. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.